What is up, my fellow golf ball addicts? Good morning to you all. I am trying something a little different here as well, doing kind of a kill two birds with one stone thing, but let's try out this older PXG 0211 model driver, and let's see how it actually is. Let's see if it's worth putting in the bag or not. Okay, so long story short, the reason I am doing this test today is because when I got fitted for my new driver 2 years ago, it was actually a Mizuno 220X model. I really love it. I mean, I love the driver a lot. I love the feel, I love the look, all that's been great. But when I went for that fitting, I had a terrible range session. I got the yips. I was shanking everything. I had two guys just watching me, making notes the whole time. And I'll be honest, I collapsed under pressure. I pulled a Rory, I really did. And so what happened is they put me in the X model, which is an extremely draw bias driver. It actually is really, and if you look at the two heads, it's really hard to see, but it's extremely aiming to the left. And what's happened over the last year with my driver is it's gotten to a point where it's impossible for me to hit a fade or a cut. I can take the face and just go like this and then grip it. And I mean, out to in, everything, and it still just goes straight. It just has such a draw bias that it's almost impossible for me. I'm just not that good enough of a golfer. So recently I ran into this PXG head model. It was actually just, someone had broke it and just kind of given it away because they didn't want it anymore. And so I put it on my shaft that the Mizuno's on, and I thought, you know what, this is worth a shot because this one is not draw bias, it is neutral. So I thought I would give it a try, see if my shots go any straighter, but also, is this club actually any good? I've wanted to try PXG for a long time. I know this isn't the most new model, I know that might turn some of you off, but I do just want to know still, are these halfway decent? How do they sound? How do they feel? Is this going to help my game? Let's hit some shots, let's find out. Okay, gonna use a Vice Pro Air here. Recently tested it, amazing golf ball, really soft, forgiving, plenty of distance to go around. First thing I notice is it sounds really subdued. It's more of a dead sound, which isn't usually the case with these less expensive drivers. Most of the time when you get a value driver, whatever the case is, it's pretty loud. My Mizuno is actually a little louder than this. This actually feels more dead, so let me see what we're working with here. Feels pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. It actually feels really decent. Yeah, I mean, that was just a nice, easy swing right there. You know, nice and smooth, nothing to it. And that is straight down the fairway. I mean, again, my swing speed, not very much. The carry and distance isn't gonna be very much. Actually, a lot of spin on that one, but. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna kind of run through and hit some shots. I'm gonna try to get a little faster as I go along, you know, because I'll be warmed up. And really what I want to see is I just want to see, you know, what the distance numbers are, what the spin numbers are, and see how it compares. Maybe it deserves, despite the fact it being a couple years old, maybe it does deserve to go in the bag. If they're going to keep going straight down the fairway like that, it might. Try to just push it. All right, so let's take a look at some of these numbers. Yeah, I mean, my experience after hitting a bunch of golf balls with the PXG driver was, I love the sound and the feel. It actually felt a lot more dead. And then it was funny, after I shot the video from earlier, I actually did a ball testing and I had to switch back to my Mizuno driver. And immediately, the first time I hit it, the loudness, like, it turned me off because I was so used to that dead feeling I'd done for 15 shots. And then I went back to the loud, like more, you know, metal type sound, you know, like how Payne used to sound back in the day. I don't think that's for me. I think that I prefer more of a subdued sound as long as I'm still getting ball speed. So let's take a look at some of these shots here. I'll put them up on the screen for you as well. Now you'll notice that the first thing what's interesting about this shot is it's pushed out to the right. And a lot of people might be like, hey, no, that's actually a pretty decent shot. You're still probably in the fairway. But you got to understand, for the last year, everything has been draw, hook, left. For me to get on the right side of this center line you see here, very rare. Usually I have to absolutely open the face and just push it as far as I can, almost like I'm trying to hit a slice, just to get it to kind of go right at that line. So that's really good to see. Club head speed, good. Distance is okay. Ball speed is okay. Launch angle, I really like at 15. Spin is a little high there at 2820. Smash factor is okay. So let's go to shot number 2 here. Now this one actually starts out on that same path, as you can see, and now it actually comes back over and hooks right in the center. This is a pristine drive right here. I'm really proud of this one. Again, 94.2, 137 ball speed's not bad considering that club speed. Launch angle's great again. Spin, 2662, again, is a little high, not what I would prefer. Smash factor a little bit better, and distance-wise, again, just okay. The spin is kind of affecting my rollout too, I've noticed. But again, it's not left. It's right in the center. That's exactly what I would really like. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Let's move on. Let's go to number 3 here. So number 3 here, it's going to come off again, starts on that right side, which that alone is telling me everything I need to know. Starting off on the right side there. Actually ends up hanging out to the right, still probably in the fairway. It's actually not a bad shot. But again, very consistent, 96.7 club speed, so a little faster. I didn't get the ball speed I was hoping for with that. As you can see from that spin, it might be slightly a little bit of a mishit. I might have accidentally caught it a little bit too much as far as maybe coming down on it or maybe hitting on the top part of the club. But that is a lot of spin. That's way too much spin. Definitely going to affect the carry distance there. But again, I like the fact that it is right of the line. I never see that. So let's go to number 4 here. Again, ball starts off on the right side. It's very consistent here. It's going to hang out to the right again. So that's really the big thing. With the Mizuno driver having that draw bias, that really heavy draw bias, I can't remember the last time I hit a drive and it just went straight. Every drive for a year has been a draw, and that's not a bad thing. I know a lot of you are watching this probably thinking, well, yeah, gee, I wish I could hit a draw. I get that, but the way my swing is I just always hit a draw, and there are some holes where they go to the right. You know, they dogleg to the right, and you want to hit a cut, or you know, your danger is on, you know, the right side, and it's kind of safe over to the left, so you want to hit a cut back into it. I haven't had the ability to do that. Everything has been a draw for a year. And I mean, like, out of all my drive shots, 99.9% of them have a draw. So the fact that this golf ball just starts right and stays right and doesn't draw kind of tells me what I need to know about why I did this experiment. But again, really consistent numbers. I really like this. There's a lot of consistency with this driver. I mean, I've never used a PXG club before, but look at the carry yards and everything. Everything's been right exactly where we want it to be. This is 217. Everything's been 215, 215, 217, 96 club speed, 138 ball speed. You know, it's really a low-risk, low-reward club. It's not designed, I guess, to get, you know, some clubs, you know, you hit it pure and it's 146 ball speed, and then if you miss-hit it, you know, it might be like 132. Not the case here. This one's just going to hover around this for me, but it's going to consistently be that for me. So that's not a bad thing necessarily. Launch angle, again, 14.2. Just, I wish the spin was lower. The spin's really high. That's what makes me wonder if this club is more for... yeah, maybe a senior swinger, a slow swinger, something like that, maybe depending on how you get fitted. But I'm definitely not a big fan of that spin. Let's go ahead and go to number 5. This is the last one. Again, starts out to the right. And my goodness, would you look at that? We have a fade. Wow, look at that. It is possible. It is possible to have a fade. And I got the best numbers with it. I had really high spin, not a great smash factor, amazing ball speed though compared to what we had, and then 98.5 on your club speed and 223.7 on your carry. That's really good. If I come down here, actually, I know you guys can't see this, but I was going to come down and see, yeah, 229 total. It's a fade. That's really good. So yes, will the PXG 0211 go in my bag? Probably not. I don't want to take the 3 to 4 mile an hour hit on ball speed. And if you look at these numbers that I got when I tested the Vice Air with my Mizuno club, similar swing speed, things like that, you know, 220 total or 220 carry distance, 232 rollout distance, 141.3, 21. Look at the difference in spin, 2195. That's the difference in spin, 2195 compared to a lot. 12.4 on your launch angle. So again, the draw bias really makes the Mizuno launch a lot lower sometimes because of that. You know, these numbers distance-wise with the Mizuno would have been even better if I could have got that 14-15 launch. So Yes, so I'm not going to put the PXG in my bag, but I'll tell you what, boy, does this tell me I need to go get refitted. 110%, that's what these numbers tell me. Like, I would love to, as much as I don't want to spend a bunch of money on a new driver, I definitely need something with a more neutral face. I need something that's going to get me some more ball speed and also have a little bit more accuracy. I mean, the Mizuno, as far as forgiveness and accuracy, is fine. It's just that draw bias is killing me. So I need to go get something a little more neutral that I can bend. Maybe I can actually get a fade out of, because, you know, I don't mind hitting a fade 230. I really don't. I know it's not a ton of distance, but I don't mind occasionally hitting a fade if I have the option to. But when everything is a low draw, it makes it tough. Now, I know some of you are going to say, oh, well, you know, it's not the Arrow, it's the Indian. I get that. But when you, I mean, it is comical how I can open the face with this Mizuno driver, come way out, swipe across, and it still goes straight. Like, there's only so much you can do with a draw bias driver. There just really is. It's designed for a beginner crowd. I think at this point, a couple years later, I've really honed in my swing, and I think I'm just a little bit better. So that's also why it's really important to get fitted, really important to go and try multiple drivers. You know, yes, you can go online, look at research, look at what people have to say, but the reality is the best research is always going to be going to a Dick's Sporting Goods or a PGA Superstore or whatever's near you, and just trying a bunch of them out. You know, yeah, I want to try, you know, the TaylorMade, I want to try the Callaway, I want to try the Wilson or the Mizuno, you know, off-brand, Strixon, brands you wouldn't even think of. See how they feel, see how they act, and when you get that one that's right for you, you'll know. And it doesn't matter what the cost is. If it's right for you, you'll know, and if it's in that budget and you can spend it, you'll want it. So that's what I'm going to go do. I think I'm going to go get fitted for a driver and try to find something new. If you guys have any recommendations, please let me know below in the comments section. Let me know what you recommend. If you've gotten a new driver in the last year or two and you really love it, you have around this swing speed and you're really loving what it's doing for you, tell me about it. I want to hear. Thanks, guys. As always, keep watching, keep saving, keep learning. I'll see you soon.